Well, as you're probably all aware, our Nobel Literature Laureate, Nadine Gordimer, died this week, and tributes poured in from all around the world, mainly about her literary side and her social responsibility. In fact, what I thought missing was the fact that she also was a great supporter of the labor movement and of trade unions. She appreciated the role that unions had played in this country in the transition from apartheid, and above all else, she appreciated the frustration felt by so many trade unionists that their expectations were frustrated by what has happened now. She was, I'm proud to say, an avid reader of the Inside Labour column, and she would have understood, as she did understand with the Platinum Belt strike, what the two underlying bases were for these prolonged strikes and their bitterness. Not just the cost of living, the continually increasing cost of living, but also debt. We are, in fact, I would say, a nation wallowing in debt from the top down. The government, for example, has a large amount of debt. The current account deficit is only kept in balance rather, by the fickle money flowing into the JSE, the Johannesburg Securities Exchange. That's portfolio investment. It could disappear at the touch of a computer button. It's as simple as that. A computer key could just wipe that money, that inflow out. And it's not for us, of course. Governments have this facility of continually rolling over the money, which again creates more problems in terms of the dividends and profits that flow out. But for us, for you and me, we borrow money if we have to. But if we're better off, we pay so much less. And our household debt in South Africa now is, I think, at desperately worrying levels, despite the fact that it has officially slowed down somewhat. There are, for example, about 10 million people in this country who are regarded as having impaired credit ratings. That's politely putting they're in a deep hole and can't get out because they can't even borrow more money. And in any event, these are just the official statistics. There are millions of South Africans, lower paid, who either don't have access to regulated financial institutions or who don't know how to access them. And they turn to those township loan sharks, the mashonisas. Now, these people have interest rates and methods of collecting their debt that can only be described as brutal. Now, in order to try and remedy this, in 2005, the government introduced the National Credit Act. And I think in many ways, it was very well intentioned, but in many ways, it created more problems because it set the maximum level of interest at 60% per annum. That's a lot of money, 60% if you think about what bonds cost, etc. But also, it made credit more difficult, which forced a lot of the low paid again to the mashonisas. So how do we get out of this? What do we do? The unions between them have billions of rand in provident funds, in their own investment companies, etc. Can they not perhaps set something up? That's what I'm going to focus on this week in my Inside Labour column, which you'll be able to read on this platform, Fin24, tomorrow, and on Sunday in the business section of City Press. But I want to hear what you have to say. Do you have any suggestions? Are you concerned, as I am, about this debt level? And how can we possibly ameliorate it, even if we can't, I can't see that we can overcome it, but at least ameliorate it? So let's hear from you at editor@fin24.com. That's editor@fin24.com. And for this week, that's all from me. Cheers.